Hello and welcome to another episode of TommyTruths. And today I wanted to talk about an area that's quite dear to my heart, and that's mental health. Mental health has been something that I've been on my own journey through, and it's also something that I've seen a lot of other people struggle with. I think it's a very prevalent issue today. And so, I just wanted to share my own thoughts on it. I don't claim to be a mental health guru or expert. This is just my own perspective and hopefully some things that might encourage you if you can relate to my journey. Two extremes that I've seen people go to with mental health. The first is I think we can tend to over-spiritualize. What I mean by that is we can often view mental health as purely something that is a matter of the person's not trusting in God enough and a sin issue that needs to be dealt with. And I think that's very misguided, because I think that mental health is a very complex issue. There's a lot that goes into it. There's medical factors, there's the way the person was raised, there's traumas in that person's life, their own experiences, there's exercise and how their nutrition, even like their diet. And so there's so many things that go into mental health that just putting it in a spiritual category or just boxing it into a category of sin is just very oversimplistic. And I think oftentimes we can be very quick to give little bits of advice, like maybe someone's going through depression and we feel tempted to just say, oh, you need to trust in God more, you shouldn't be depressed. We must view mental health as unacceptable, and we think, oh, they shouldn't be like that, and that's unacceptable. That really shows a lack of awareness of mental health and a lack of understanding. We can be very much too quick to just put it in a box, give it a label and a sin, and say a quick Bible verse and walk away. And that very rarely leads to fruit, from what I've seen. And first extreme is we over-spiritualize. The second extreme, we can leave God completely out of the picture. Some people will blame everything on people around them, like their upbringing, traumas in their life, and it's not to say that those didn't play a big part in their life, because they may well have, but it's this victim mentality that's like, because of these experiences, I'm stuck with this. There's nothing that I can do to change that, and they let it rule their lives, and in a way that's unhealthy, and in a way that doesn't lead to change, and that just keeps them in that bondage. And so for those people, they really need to see that there is a God who wants to walk through them in the midst of their anxiety. The God or the Bible is not a God who's distant and who keeps away from us, but who actually wants to empower us to walk through and to fight anxiety and depression. I wanted to share a scripture that's really encouraged me through working through this, and that's Proverbs 12:25 says, "Anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers him up." And I found this to be very true for my life. When I've had a lot of anxieties, I've felt very weighed down, very burdened, and often what I'm really needing in that time is kindness, and someone who just understands, someone who would listen to me. And I'm sure many of you can relate to that, where maybe you've shared your burdens with someone, and they've just shown grace, they've shown a willingness to listen, and they've spoken some words of life, kindness, encouragement into your life that's really change your day and change your perspective on that day. And I think that can go a long way. And so I think that's something that community is very important. And I think that reaching out to those in your life who you can trust, to not dismiss your problems, but to actually empathize and speak life into what you're going through is super important. And ultimately, we need to remember that we have a God who cares for us. There's a verse that says, "Cast your cares onto God because He cares for you. Cast your anxieties onto God because He cares for you." And so, I think that's something that we need to remember above all else, is that even people will let you down, but God will never let you down. He is the God who is who is kind like no other, and and so remembering that we have a kind Father who cares for our needs, to know that we have a God who sympathizes with our weaknesses, and and so just want to encourage you to share your burdens with others, but above all, cast your cares into God, and knowing that He cares for you, and and know that He wants to walk with you through whatever you're going through, and to be a light in the midst of that dark place. I hope this video encourages you, and I'll see you next time.